did softly to herself. Maybe she can help me get back home. And restore what was taken away from me. Deep down, Kitty had no idea that was impossible. If at all, there was unfortunately a good chance she was stuck in Mobius, with no way of getting home. Even so, she would, if for nothing else, try to regain her lost memories. It's now held the key to her having any shot of returning home to Petropolis. But the following afternoon, Kitty finally received her test results of her current health. Well, after then, your temporary state of memory loss and a few burns that have been properly bandaged, the doctor told her, you're in good health and are now clear to leave the hospital. Hope, who was also in the room at the time, asked the doctor, so you're saying you're giving her the discharge papers now? The doctor nodded his head, softly replied, yes, this is correct. But she's no place to go, the female mechanic protested. You can't just kick her out without a home of her own. I'm sorry, Miss Kindler, the doctor told her with sympathy, but orders are orders. I have to give this room to more needy patient. Sorry, let me repeat this. I'm derping here. Kitty, who was now back in her current jumpsuit attire, that day and all ironically took the news better than Hope did. She understood this was not a place of a refuge for her to reside in. What Miss Katz was supposed to do now? Hope argued. You know how evil people can be. They would clearly take advantage of her current condition. The doctor at this point felt a little sympathetic for the tan feline after hearing this, replying with a heavy sigh, I really wish I could help you, but the best I can do is give you an additional 10 minutes to think of something while I go write up her discharge papers. Gotta learn to stop derping here. Hope by now finally gave up trying to argue about it. She wasn't going to get any help from him, and she knew it. Anyway, I'll leave you two alone to talk it over. But Doctor... God damn it. Let me repeat it. Anyway, I'll leave you two alone to talk it over. The doctor said after a long pause, I'm really sorry, Miss Kindler. The doctor then left and walked towards the reception desk to get the proper paperwork. While he did that, Hope looked at Kitty and with sadness telling her, I really don't know what to do to help you now. You need a place to stay, but I don't know where would be the best choice. Kitty looked at her with a slight smile of gratitude, replying a bit boldly, it's okay, I'll just make do in the meantime. I can take care of myself. I am an Class S tough agent after all. In spite of her reassuring words, Hope knew she couldn't let her walk into an unknown part of Mobius alone. It was far too dangerous for someone with memory loss to survive for long. So realizing there was no other alternative solution to this scenario, Hope said to her, listen Kitty, I'm sure you're a pretty tough individual, especially with the impressive assume I learned about you, but I can't just let you do that. You have no idea what's out there. While the tan feline pondered over what she's trying to imply, the female mechanic added, "Anyway, I think until you get your memory back, at least it would be best come if you to come stay in my house for the time being." Kitty was overwhelmed at the offer of generosity, inquiring, You don't really let me you really let me come live with you just like that?" Hope quickly nodded her head, replying, "Yes, I can sense you're a trustworthy individual, and since you appear to be really down on your luck now, allow me to make my home a place you can take shelter in." Within seconds, the tan feline slowly got at Hope's eyes and eye level, and then hugged her tightly, saying with a tear in her right eye and sniffling in a sniffle, "Thank you. I don't know how I could ever repay you for this wonderful act of kindness." Hope soon returned Kitty's embrace, answering with a smile on her face, We worry about that later, but for now, my home is now your home." During this warm embrace, the tan feline felt she had just made a new friend. She didn't understand how all this was happening or why, but she nonetheless felt deeply indebted to the female mechanic. This young girl had in a sense helped ease the pain of being isolated from those at Tough. As for Hope, she too ironically felt a strong connection with Kitty. While they embraced, even she couldn't deny now there was something unique about the feline from the moment she had found her in the park. If destiny had allowed their paths to cross for a very special purpose, one that neither of them were even aware of at the moment. 10 seconds later, the doctor returned. He saw them still hugging. He then cleared his throat to get their attention. Instantly, the looks at him deeply startled, where they soon stood up deeply embarrassed. Once they were on their feet, he said softly, I didn't mean to ruin your touchy moment, but I have Miss Catswell's discharge papers ready to be processed. She can go as soon as she signs them." Since Kitty now knew where she would be staying, she didn't hesitate to sign them as instructed. As she did so, the doctor started to try and sound sympathetic. "Anyway, madam, I do have you find a place to go soon. I hate to see you or anyone else for that matter homeless in this city." "Oh, it's okay," Kitty replied, with a smile on her face. "I have a place to go now." You do? Really?" The doctor found this hard to believe, arguing, "But before I left, Miss Kinderbutt said you needed to go, and she's the one now." Hope told him, "I'm going to let her stay with me." "You're not serious, are you?" Not surprisingly, the doctor was one of those who found Mobian creatures something he didn't trust around any humans. "Yes, I'm very serious," the female mechanic replied, looking at him intently with an arched eyebrow. Miss Catswell's memory loss is too great of a risk to allow her to roam the streets unprotected, so I'm going to allow her to live in my home." "Are you sure that's a wise thing to do?" he inquired, still very skeptical. "I mean, What about you and your protections? Hope now was instantly offended by that statement, demanding arguingly, with her hands at her hips, "Are you actually insinuating she would do something to harm me in any way?" Even Kitty by this time was deeply insulted by such a suggestion. No, of course not," the doctor replied, trying to damage control of his own previous words, "but uh... Unfortunately for him, he couldn't finish that sentence, as he saw Hope's eyes burning into his with pure disgust. The silent doctor said anything more for fear of getting further backlash, but Dr. now shook his head abruptly, saying soon after, "Whatever it's your home, and you do what you think is best." He then took the papers from Kitty's hands and added with another clearing of his throat, "Anyway, now that Miss Catswell's papers are signed, she is officially cleared to leave." For a split second he finished that line, he quickly walked out of the room, saying abruptly, "Good day to you both." After he was out of sight, Hope turned to Kitty and told her with a look of anger, "See, this is one of the reasons why I'm letting you stay with me. It's people like him who would use your memory loss against you. You once they found out about it, and do you know what we do with it for evil purposes?" Kitty sadly couldn't argue with that one either. It too made her angry inside that people would be vile enough to take advantage of her current condition. Several seconds later, the female mechanic handed Kitty her house key and said, "You can use this to get inside my home." While the tan feline took it from her hand, Hope added, "I don't have an extra bed for you to sleep on, unfortunately, but you can sleep on the couch in the living room. It should do for the time being." Being in no position to complain, Kitty slightly nodded her head in response, replying, "Thanks, I appreciate it." Hope then started a long pause. "Well, I hate to go now, but my lunch hour is officially over and I have to get back to my shift at Gun HQ on the double." "I understand," the tan feline said. "I'll just be on my way out now." Hope nodded her head in response, saying, "Anyway, in case you need help finding my home, ask a fellow gun soldier in the hospital to escort you. I'll have them informed of your situation before I head back." "Okay, sounds good," Kitty replied, with a slight smile. Soon after this, the female mechanic turned to leave, when the tan feline said loudly before she could take a step, "Hey, Hope." "Yes, Kitty?" As Kitty at first hesitated to ask her question, but soon did nonetheless due to the time consumption, inquired awkwardly, "Just wondering, why do you trust me so much?" "What do you mean?" asked Hope with puzzlement. "Well, most of the humans that seen here so far act like I'm scum or something to be feared," Kitty exclaimed. "You, on the other hand, you seem to think otherwise. Why is that?" Since time was not on her side, the female cat gave a quick but reassuring word and replying, "Because, Kitty, I spent time with Mobians like you before. I am pretty good judge at figuring out if they have a good heart or not, after getting to know them." While Kitty pondered this over, Hope added with a warm smile, "Anyway, unfortunately I don't have to explain it explain all of this to you.